Your Excellency, it's so good to see you again. Thank you for joining us.
See you, Jason. Thank you. Thank you for inviting me.
Your Excellency, when we spoke in person last September in Washington, just before you signed the Abraham Accords at the White House, you envisioned growing regional cooperation while recognizing that the course ahead was not going to be a straight line, that significant challenges would remain. You made it clear that the Kingdom of Bahrain firmly supports a negotiated solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict with the creation of an independent Palestinian state, and that this commitment is unwavering. You also made it clear that there would be advantages in openly engaging Israel to help advance regional peace and cooperation. How and why did Bahrain make this historic decision? And how do you see the people of Bahrain benefiting from this engagement? And what do you foresee going forward?
Well, once again, thank you, Jason. Thank you for the invitation and to participate in this forum. Absolutely right. You know, Bahrain's decision to sign the Abraham Accords is firmly based on our belief that they represent a step towards resolving the Palestinian-Israeli conflict and really not away from it. We took the view that from decades of seeing confrontation, seeing non-engagement did not get us to anywhere. And we believe that the path of cooperation, the path of dialogue, the path of closer, really, negotiation based on the two-state solution can lead to resolving the conflict. So we decided to really pursue the path of coexistence, the path of interdependence, the path of cooperation to achieve peace and yet resolve the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, because we believe it is the bedrock for any peace to be achieved, is to really tackle this issue. So our position is firm in supporting the Palestinians to reach a solution in cooperation with the Israeli, and we hope that the path that we have pursued will really help in achieving that. And it's also, we have Bahrain, even in the year 2019, we have conducted Peace to Prosperity workshop. It is sending that message that after 70 years of conflict, let's explore other ways of reaching peace. Jason, the region really in need for peace. I think the pandemic has shown us how small the world is and how we can go into an isolated islands in a spur of a moment when we are threatened by pandemics such as the COVID. But the main lesson was that we need each other, that we need to cooperate. And we know that the world security and stability needs the security and stability and the safety of the Middle East. The Middle East is vital. After a decade or so of conflict, we have now millions of young people who have been denied of education, they have been denied of shelter, they are even denied of clean water. We all need to work together. We all need to provide the environment that can create hope for these people. And I think Bahrain, being a country that and a nation that believe in dialogue, that believes in respecting the others, that believes in coexistence, that we believe in cooperation. And that's what His Majesty the King has indicated and practiced in his doctrine and in his decision to pursue peace with Israel. You're absolutely right. It's not a straight line. We know there is a lot of challenges along this path, but with trust, confidence, and partnership, I think we can convey the right messages, and we can just move along this new approach, and hopefully that the people of the region can see the benefit. And in particular, the Palestinians and the Israelis can see the benefit of the peace.
Indeed. Excellency, though, for Bahrain itself, for the Kingdom of Bahrain, for the people of Bahrain, do you see benefits, very practical benefits, growing out of this cooperation with Israel?
Definitely. We have, first of all, the most important benefit is that the values of the Bahrainis are being really recognized. We are sending the message from a small nation saying that peace is the way forward. By living in a country, in a region that will enjoy stability and security and give hope for our brothers and friends, especially the young people, to have a kind of prosperity or development. That's by itself is a gain to all Bahrainis, let alone partnership with the Israelis and in the different areas of technology, commerce, trade, tourism, health. We've just seen how important it is to cooperate in the areas of health. Unfortunately, that the last year or so, because of the pandemic, we have been denied or at least postponed the programs for tourism and for interaction. When we met in Washington, we were looking forward to really receive you here and see how people to people can interact and really create the environment for a better business relationship and also tourism, health, etc. So I think the benefit is there. And from the public sector, we need to create, and I'm working with my counterparts and also other ministers working with their counterparts to create the environment so that whether it's legal, legislation-wise, or interaction-wise, to create that environment where business to business can interact and people to people can interact in a safe, secure, trust environment that we can really together move towards a better
clearly, the gates are opening.
Areas. Yes, absolutely.
Your Excellency, let me turn in a different direction. The Jewish community of Bahrain, the only indigenous Jewish community on the Arabian Peninsula, is small but respected and well integrated in Bahraini society. A synagogue in downtown Manama has now been restored and outfitted. The community is the base for a newly formed association of Gulf Jewish communities. And a range of interfaith initiatives has been launched by His Majesty King Hamad. What role do the promotion of interfaith dialogue and cooperation and support for the kingdom's Jewish and other minorities play in defining the character of Bahrain today? And what is your response to those who would use or abuse religion for extremist ends?
Well, thank you. You know, you're right that Bahrain has a deep-rooted, really, culture of religion and religious dialogue, based on, in part, on our long, really, history as a trading center, which for hundreds of years really has brought together East and West and in a diverse community. This is what we've been living in, and that's why we believe in coexistence. I believe our capital, Manama, is the most religiously diverse city in the GCC and probably in the entire world, with numerous faiths, places of worship to be really located and found in a very small area, even less than 1 square mile. You will find a synagogue, and you will find mosques, church, temples, all in the same very small area. And that's why I think we are unique in this. But it is really deeply rooted in our character and our beliefs as Bahraini. Our Jewish community, which has called the kingdom really as home, been here for more than a century. And it's really, we had very successful, actually, it's hard to see the difference.
Yeah.
They are Bahrainis, and sometimes we don't know whether they are really Jewish or not. We're just friends, and we're living together. And I think we are really, we made, and we still continue to make an example and role model of coexistence and working together and living together side by side. As you know, that our ambassador to Washington, D.C., once was a Jewish Bahraini.
Very dear friend.
Yes, so I'm convinced that this interfaith dialogue that we have practiced and continue to have a cooperation is one of the really defining characteristics of modern Bahrain, and informs our approach to both national and international issues. In recent years, for example, we have seen the establishment of the King Hamad Center for Peaceful Coexistence, which plays such an important role in promoting interfaith dialogue. The 2017, I believe, Kingdom of Bahrain Declaration, setting out the principles of religious tolerance and mutual respect. Also, I think in the year 2020, just last year, an MOU with the State Department on combating anti-Semitism was signed.
Yes.
Including acceptance of the International Holocaust Remembrance Alliance definition of anti-Semitism. Also, we are now started talking with the United Religion. So it's this is what we believe in, and that's what we practice. And so this is the really the reality of modern Bahrain. A long history and deep culture of interfaith dialogue and respect, which we are really building on today. to promote these same values across really the region, and will continue really to do so.
Excellency, let me turn in a different direction and close out this conversation talking about Bahraini-U.S. relations. Excellency, the United States and the Kingdom of Bahrain enjoy a long-standing strategic partnership with the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet, based in Manama, with our countries working together on freedom of navigation in the Gulf and the wider region, and the fight against terrorism and other security challenges. Among those challenges, of course, is the constant threat posed by the Iranian regime. How would you assess that threat, and what advice would you and your colleagues, what advice are you and your colleagues offering to Washington as it pursues negotiations over a possible return to the 2015 Iran nuclear deal?
Well, Jason, you are completely correct that Bahrain and the United States have enjoyed a very healthy, long, close partnership that has proved its value and safeguarding the region, and it was one of the reasons that why Admiral Crow, who was the Middle East Force commander then, and also the former chairman of the Joint Chief of Staff, he said in his autobiography that pound for pound, Bahrain is the best ally in the recent history to the United States.
And by the way, I think you're celebrating the 50th anniversary of that diplomatic relationship this year.
Absolutely, absolutely. But the military is even longer.
Yeah, yes.
So, and it's also that partnership why Bahrain was designated as a major non-NATO ally.
Yeah.
To the of the United States, and in recognition of the importance of this partnership, and why this was really followed by an FTA was also signed with Bahrain. Bahrain is blessed really with a king who stands by his words and agreement with full commitment. We were cooperating even though sometimes we didn't have agreements. It was just directives, coming direct from the king to really provide, because he believes that the boys and girls of the Fifth Fleet are here and to support peace and stability in the region. And we want to always provide what is needed to accomplish their mission the most, in a way, whether it's to simplify it or ease the execution of their mission. You are right also about the sheer challenge from the Iranian regime. It is a challenge which, as I am sure you are aware, goes far beyond the issue of Iran's nuclear program, to include, for example, the missile development, and in particular, its support for proxies and militias that interfere in other countries. In Bahrain, we have first-hand experience in what I'm alluding to. So it is a challenge. It is an Iranian challenge that we need. Since 1979, Bahrain has probably missed some opportunities and missed also at the same time missed no opportunities to attack this and opportunities to really make this region a a more peaceful region that where we can coexist and work on interdependence together to make the region a safer place for all. There's the extremist groups. Also, we need to ensure that they will not carry out any attacks, and there is also the wider international propaganda campaign that the Iranians use the media for, and NGOs and other politicians. Recently, our Coast Guard and law enforcement agencies have seized numerous stashes of weapons, munition, explosives, detonators, and other bomb-really making equipment. Our message, really, which I think is one of shared by our friends in the region and other countries in the region, is that we cannot just focus on the nuclear issue. We have to address the totality of the challenge, of the Iranians' challenge, and the counterproductive, really, behavior across the Middle East, and put in place really effective safeguards to ensure any new deal does not further facilitate, let's say, the advancing of these activities. We need the international community to convince Iran that it cannot prosper by trying to subvert or undermine other countries, and that the interests of Iran and its people are best really served by being a responsible regional and global citizen. My hope is really that this message will be heard. Again, it is a message of peace from a nation of peace, believe in peace, and I believe that the administration shares some of these concerns.
Your Excellency, thank you. We have heard your message. It is consistent with other messages that we have heard across the region. We take it very seriously, and we will continue to convey that message and our message of concern in our advocacy going forward. Excellency, thank you so much for taking part in the 2021 AJC Global Forum. We are so eager to be back in Bahrain. We look forward to seeing you very soon.
Looking forward to see you. Take care, Jason.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye, Excellency.